Hello and welcome to my 10-year journey as a leader in the online space. I'm Sam Evans. This is my YouTube channel. So make sure you press subscribe and be sure to tune in to everything that I'm going to be sharing with you across the next 10 videos. See, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing my real story behind the brand, all of my breakdowns, and also, most importantly, the becoming. And my entire coaching career officially began around about 2015, 2016. So that's like 10 years. And every single year I learned something new. Every single year there were so many things that I'd gone through. And all right, yeah, I have got a little script to remind me of the things that happened. But here's the thing, this is not scripted, it's unfiltered, it's just me. I'm just speaking to you guys. And it's not polished, it's not edited. I'm not going to be standing here telling you that I'm perfect. I'm not going to be sitting here telling you that I did everything right. I did so many things that weren't really things that I should have done. And sometimes we as leaders can be so hard on ourselves. And it's only when we are truly able to face those parts of ourselves we can truly surrender. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every single decade. I'm going to go through every single decade of everything that I'd ever gone through. And most importantly, something for you to actually grab from this information. Now, the funny thing is that I actually did a very similar series to this when I hit 40. And what I did is I basically went through every single year and the lessons that I'd gone through as a woman growing, I suppose. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about my career. This is not only just for you, it's for me as well, because when I actually practiced the audios, when I was actually speaking out, like, look, I'm just going to speak how I speak. I haven't swallowed a dictionary, right? Sometimes my words do get jumbled up and muddled up, but the thing is, I'm human. And I'm not even going to lie to you, I do feel a little bit nervous. I feel nervous because I've never done this before. So I'm just going to deliver. And I know once words start flowing, everything's going to be okay. But let's just begin. So here we go. The first year was between 2015 2016, and this was the year that shattered my illusion of success. So let's talk about what happened then. So in 2015, I had a growing childcare business, right? So I had a growing childcare business, and the reason why I started my childcare business was because I was actually going to leave the country. I was going to leave the UK and move to Canada. But so many things started to happen super, super fast. I met my husband, I had two kids, we got together, we moved twice, I think, in that space, three times in that space. And there was no way I was going to work full time and take care of my children. It would have cost me all of my salary to put my kids into childcare. Like, what is the point? What is the point of working all of these hours, not having time with my children, and then having to worry about money as well? And so I wanted to have my own business. Now, what it was is actually someone said to me, Sam, you should get into childcare. So I got into childcare and I set up my own Montessori class. And this is actually in 2015. So I set up my own Montessori training class. So if you don't know what Montessori is, oh, Maria Montessori, she was just a gift. She was someone who knew about children's development. She was someone who knew that they learned through their subconscious, through their unconscious programming, especially between birth to five. Now, this was actually the beginning of my power. And do you know what the funny thing was? Is that when I actually did my exam, I didn't get it. I couldn't understand the difference between conscious and unconscious. It just wouldn't land until the day before my final exam. And I was like, oh my God, I get it. I totally get what it means. So what that basically means is that we do things without realizing what we're actually doing, even when we're adults, which is based on our conditioning from being a child. So as I'm learning all of this stuff about working with children, what was going on is I was actually going through my own revelation. I was going through my own transformational journey and I launched my business in 2015. Now, I had literally thought, I was like, I'm going to film my classes, everything's going to be great, everything's all going to work out for me. And so 2015, September, I did the free class, I showed up September, nobody came. Okay, come back the following week. And I kept coming back every single week and setting up, and no one would show. I can't even tell you how much that hurt. I've just paid this money for a mentor. I had just spent all of my savings on all of these materials. Why is nobody coming? What have I done wrong? And I've still got my babies, they're under the age of 2, and they're there with me. And they were having fun, don't get me wrong, they do have good memories. But inside, I felt broken. I felt so broken because I couldn't understand what was going on. And it wasn't until the week before the half term here in the UK, a woman came in and she signed up. And then over the holidays, another 2 women signed up. So, you know, when they say you got to keep going and act like it's already done, that was my first experience. I had no idea about mindset work at this point. I had no idea of how to hold myself in my power. I had to go out handing flyers. I'm not even joking you. I was so scared. I was so scared of delivering these flyers and inviting people to my class. Like, I can't even imagine being that version now. Like, I will talk to you all day long about my products and services, but that was my beginning. That was my beginning. And by 2016, the business was growing. The business was growing, everything was evolving, and it felt incredible. But what I was also doing is I was also a childminder. And I was running my childcare classes and I was looking after another baby. So I had 3 babies under the age of 2. And I'm not even kidding you, it actually made me go a little bit crazy. It made me go a little bit crazy. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I feel like I'm glued to the kitchen sink. I don't feel like I'm delivering. I was being hard on myself because I didn't feel like I could support my children fully. And so I said to the parent of the child, and I said, look, I'm going to have to adjust my calendar a little bit. Like I spoke out, I said, I feel like I'm just meeting your child's needs. I'm not incorporating all the children. And she didn't like that. So I thought to myself, do you know what? This is a clear sign for me to leave. I'm not doing this no more. And so then I let go of the child minding business. But then network marketing came into my world. And we all know how it all goes with network marketing. You know, you get all excited, you see the big money wins, and you're like, yeah, 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 this is it. I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. And the reason why I signed up is because I was like, I don't care about the journey. I don't care about how I'm going to build a team. I don't care about any of that. I just want the end result. Now, funnily enough, as I'm looking back on it now, it's kind of like acting like it's already done. But because I'd said I don't care about the journey, I had to learn how to care about the journey. Now, I did whiz really fast. I did whiz really, really fast. I hit, I think, the first 2 levels really, really quickly in my network marketing company. And I was just getting attraction and I was getting everything done. But I was actually investing in the business to help me grow my business because apparently that was a done thing to do. And I didn't actually really like that, but I was spending more money, but I was receiving so much money. And then it reached a point in my business. It was August 2016. And I was kind of like, why is everyone else getting there faster than me? Why is it that I can't get there? I'm a good person. I'm doing all of this development stuff. And then one woman told me the book about The Secret. Now, most people have got the same story like this, but I'm going to tell you mine. So everyone's talking about manifestation and then talking about how to, act like it's already done and the law of attraction. Read this book, it's going to help you get to where you need to be. So I read it and I was like, this is not working. And what it was is because I didn't agree with it. There was many parts of me that I didn't agree with. How can I act like it's already done if I'm not really achieving the things that I've got? I was very logical, very practical, because that's how I've always been. If I needed something, I'd go and get it. If I needed to earn more money, I'd go and get another job. If I needed to go and buy something, I'd go and get, I just always, if I wanted something, I would go and get it. So there was a little bit of a conflict in being the old identity of go, 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 go to trusting and receive and being more present. So I remember I listened to this meditation, and the next thing you know, my business started to boom. And my business started to boom, but it was very, very fast. And then what would happen? I would lose it again. I would lose it again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't understand what's going on here. I wasn't quite sure what was kind of going on. So here I am with my childcare business. Here I am with my network marketing business, and I've got money coming in. And I finally took my husband on a trip, and it was amazing, but I was still crumbling inside. I was so, so nervous. I just wanted to realize that actually I have got the power within me to achieve it, but Outside, I was cool, I was losing weight, I've got two kids, and I was in a really good place. I even actually had a part-time job. I had a part-time job as an administrator in a church. But the thing was, is that the guy in the church was so rude. So I'm building this forever living business. I am now about to start my new job, and then I've had to sell my childcare business. And that broke me. It broke me because I sold it for 1,500. I put all of my savings into this business. My network marketing business wasn't going the way that I'd wanted it to. And now I'm working back in a part-time job. And it's moment like this where you kind of feel like maybe it just wasn't meant to be. But actually, every experience I was going through was actually leading me to my next level. See, this is where I discovered coaching because most of the people, the high leaders in this network marketing business, said they was working with a coach. So I was like, well, I want to work with a coach. I want to get to that next level. Help me get there. Help me, help me, help me. I need a coach, I need a coach. And I kept messaging this one coach and he wouldn't reply. And I'm like, well, where are the coaches? Where are these people? And then I finally found someone. I finally found a coach that I could work with because her presence was wild and she just hit the nail on the head and her confidence was just amazing. I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be that confident. But by the time we was having a few one-on-one calls, what was happening is I was getting very emotional. I was feeling things that I had to face that I didn't know I had to. I didn't know my subconscious was playing its part here. I thought I was just there was something wrong with me. I thought that I was fine, everything's going to work out. I thought that I was jinxed, I was cursed. I thought all of these things. So one time I jumped on a coaching call with her and I just burst into tears and she was like, stop, 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 stop. I can't do this right now. Come back when you're feeling better. And in that moment, not only did I not know that I was emotionally unbalanced and that I had no ways of regulating myself, I also knew that there was nobody that could actually hold me. And that really pissed me off. That pissed me off so much, and I just thought, I'm done. So I closed my childcare business. I decided childcare, working with children in my own home, is not for me. I went a little bit agoraphobic. I've started a brand new network marketing business. That again didn't even work out. 2015, 2016, I'm kind of like, what is the point? I was working with a spiritual coach and there were some ties that was actually cleared for me. I'd actually had learned Reiki level 1 and 2. But by the time I'd finished it, I had this emotional eruption and everyone thought I'd gone crazy. And I was like, what is going on? Why can't no one help me? God, please help me. And the only thing that I could do to calm myself down was to step away from everything. I stopped doing Reiki. I stopped working with that life coach. I stopped my childcare business. I stopped that network marketing business and I went and got something that was safe. Was this bad? No, it's what I needed. I had money coming in. My kids were in a Montessori education and it felt so hard letting them go. I'm not even going to lie. And then I guess there was other things that was kind of going on. I was being spoken to so rudely in this church, shouted at, shouted at. I was spoken to with such disrespect. But because I treated that job as in I turn up at 10 a.m., I leave at 2, I wasn't appreciative. I wasn't appreciated because between the years of 2015 and 2016, my illusion of easy money was kind of enhanced, but also not. So I was receiving all of this money and then it was going. It was receiving all of this money and then it was going. But I had no emotional regulation. I'd go from 0 to 100. I'd either be crying my eyes out or I'd be just angry as fuck. So this was basically for you to understand that in the beginning, this is where we need to remember what we went through. It's about being aware of where we started. It's about being aware of what was kind of going on, and also, most importantly, recognizing the internal war, the cognitive dissonance, the dissonance between who you want to be and who you actually are. It's about calibrating the identities. But I didn't know. And I had no idea what was coming in 2017. No coach could save me because I had no one strong enough to hold me. No one could rescue me because I couldn't hold myself. The only person who could hold me was my husband. And believe you me, did I test his patience? To the point, he picked up a bag, empty, and said, "Right, that's it, I'm done." I was like, "No, baby, don't leave me. I'm going to sort myself out." And he said, "You need to go get help." And that's when I knew something had to be done. So this was actually the first part of my coaching career. And this is also one of the deep reasons why I created Exodus and why Exodus exists. So 2015, 2016 cracked my illusion, and 2017 was when the coaching journey officially began. So let me know how this story landed with you, because when I look back at that, I'm like, oh my God, I was so immature. Oh my God, I had no idea, but I was so hard on myself. I actually feel like crying thinking about it. Like I was so hard on myself. I was just proving I'm worthy. I'm okay. I'm allowed. But what I was doing so much was I was judging myself. But the only person who could judge me is God. So that's the end of this video. And feel free to check out the caption. If you're ready for your own Exodus, then apply. I'm here. And I'll see you on 2017, the next revelation.